I want to just press on and look at people like Gayton McKenzie. 1 minute Gayton McKenzie, we've got a clip of him running along the river, shouting Abahambe, Abahambe, and then he's bouncing across a stage to massive applause, Abahambe, Abahambe, and now suddenly he's flipped. And I think that just shows you, first of all, someone like Gayton McKenzie is not a leader's arse, pardon me, but he's not a leader at all. He's a puppet, a complete puppet. He's there 100% to try and protect his leader, which is Cyril Ramaphosa. He's been sent out there to try and attract and get the coloured vote together for the ANC to try and destabilise the Western Cape. I see nothing good coming from him. I originally thought that he might have been a breath of fresh air, but the fact that he's, in my opinion, is just power seeking, and he's a flip-flop. He's no better than Julius Malema or any one of the others. It's sad to see that he's turned his back on his stance. I think it's good that he's being reasonable in terms of the fact that we need to handle it appropriately, but his mistake was having gone out there the way that he did initially with the rants and raves of Abahambe. And that's just encouraged people across the country to take the law into their own hands. The sadness for me also is I've watched a few clips and I've seen, a lady the other day whose hair salon, nail salon, got invaded and just completely looted. And that wasn't someone wanting to come and take over the business and to continue the business and provide the services that lady was clearly providing very well to society. And within 10 minutes, her shop had been completely gutted. I've watched people break into the shops that have been closed for the time being, not to go there and to take over those shops and to operate them for the benefit of the local people within townships. And they loot. It's purely a looting opportunity. It shows two things. One, we're still desperately hungry and don't have access to food even in certain instances. But the behavior that comes after that in terms of the looting is just an absolute sadness. And you sit and you listen to whoever the person is that's making the film or that's taking the video, and there's like hysterical laughter in the background at how excited they are at what they're doing, and that is not a good showing. This is getting itself largely out of control. It's completely highlighting the fact that we have a police force that is not on duty. Not anywhere. There's no ability to see them stand up and defend people that are being attacked, to have control over a situation. Many of the video clips, you'll see the policeman in the video clip who's walking either with the persons that are causing the havoc with Abahambe, or rather, let me call it March and March, and they're doing nothing. And that's a tough one because they're South Africans, and you've now got South Africans that have got to police South Africans over foreigners. It's not a good situation, but they have a duty and they have a job to do, and that's to protect the rule of law, and that's to protect whoever it is that's on the receiving end of the law being meted out incorrectly. So I think it's a sad situation. I think we need to come to our senses, or we're going to end ourselves in a really terrible situation. These are our neighbours, these are our brothers and sisters, and we've got to find an ethical way of dealing with it. To sit and have a look at the crisis that's emerged, and we're talking just in KZN. All of a sudden, there's a I think it's at Sherwood Community Centre. It just got bigger and bigger and bigger, to the fact that there's now over 10,000 Malawians there. I think it's specifically Malawians. I don't know whether there's people from other countries that are there, but that's certainly what we've been told. And to have gotten to 10,000 people in such a small environment in such a short time is scratching the surface of a massive problem. And those are certainly not people that have travelled from the north, or travelled from Gauteng necessarily to get there. Those are people that have been flushed out within the local environment and the local area. So if that's what you see on one hand, and that's just the Malawian fraternity, can you imagine the number of people and the crisis that we are busy creating for ourselves as South Africans. And this is something that's going to linger longer. The effects are going to be felt across Africa for South Africans. We've almost isolated ourselves as a superior nation on the southern tip of Africa, yet we have, an education system that is pumping out 30%ers. We don't have qualified people to take over certain of the jobs. Do people know and understand what it is to run a business, the economics of running a business, being there every day at specific times, making sure that you pay your rent, making sure you pay your staff, making sure you've got staff, competent staff. So I think that we're in for a massive surprise, and I think what's sad for me is black South Africans are in for a massive surprise. As whilst we stand up and we rather bravado over the situation and we want our country back, we should have started by getting rid of the horrific governing party that we've had to put up with for 32 years. They should never have allowed this situation to happen. And now we're standing and cheering each other on as we brutalize and we treat people with absolute indignity and disrespect. It's not a good show, and it's not going to end well for us.